This is the exact car needed on Forza Horizon 5, the new Bentley Flying Spur. I think it's great to have this in the game because on Horizon 5 there are very few limousines, very large sedans. Okay, we have Series 5, we indeed have E-classes, 100 classes, all of that. We don't have an A8, we don't have an S-Class, we don't have a Series 7, we still have Rolls. On the other hand, we still have the Flying Spur, which has just been bought in the game. Because there were also versions equipped with a V8 engine. Despite their power, they lack the prestige of having such a large engine, with a big displacement simply. Here, we therefore have the W12 6-liter engine coming out. 635 horses, it's no joke, it's really monstrous, but it weighs 4 tons. And what's quite impressive is that the performance for a car weighing 2.4 tons is still quite astonishing. 0 to 62 miles EH. In 3.8 seconds top speed. We'll need to test it in the game. 330 kilometers per hour is still quite incredible. So, I think the consumption must be at least 17 liters per 100, but that's okay. When you have the money to afford this, you can afford the gas that goes with it. And above all, what's serious about the game is that it's super cool to handle. But I want to tell you, it's no surprise. All the cars, let's say large size in the game, very long cars, are extraordinarily easy to handle. There are a few others, let's say in the very long format, cars that are more than 5 meters long. And these cars, they always have an advantage and they are always super glued to the road, which makes me feel like I'm driving a box that weighs 1.6 tons, rather than driving a box that weighs 2.4 tons. I must admit that personally, I find the Flying Spur to be a really beautiful car with a stunning line, especially the successful front design. And I think they've really succeeded in quote-unquote modernizing their entire range, without it becoming too futuristic. Ultimately, preserving the key elements that led to Bentley's success over the past 10-15 years. I'm giving you a glimpse of the interior, although we'll get a better look in Forza Vista later. It's quite stylish, don't you think? Oh yeah, it's still classy. I can't really tell what color it is, if it's gray or white. I think it's white. The interior, yeah, it must be white leather. I'm having a bit of trouble seeing with the sun there, which is really colorful in the game. Yeah, it's in white leather mode. Curette, stretched, likely with Alcantara. It's quite stylish. I really like it, and I think the counters are also super cool because I believe these are old-fashioned needle counters. And that, I find it super stylish because I think it ages better than the counters, let's say digital, where the font tends to age a bit over time. There are fashion effects, and then it's not very beautiful. Here, it's classic, but it's classic still, really nice. So, the 315 are reached, but I still have doubts about the fact that we can really take 330. It's an 8 box. It looks like a 7th for the VMAX, maybe an 8th for the Eco. 330, it seems hot potato to me anyway. 320, we got them. Well, it remains. Imagine you're sitting in their thing, it's 6 meters long, it's ultra comfortable. And your driver? He's spreading at 300. I think that's it, you won't hear it. Rigor, if it's 300 and not 320. But anyway, we're going to improve it anyway, since we're still here for that. So what do we have available on our machine? Well, first of all, we'll have a swap. Well, we'll have 6 different ones. Damn, the cow! Okay, we can put it in a lot of different configs, with stuff. Okay. What's this engine here that makes 700 horsepower in twin turbo? But it's the same, it's another W12. I don't really know where it comes from. We'll have to test that. We'll see after. Well, I see there's a swap that makes 1,750 horsepower, so I'm quite reassured about what we can do with it. Afterwards, without a swap, we still have 1,050 horsepower. So the swap might not necessarily be useful. Actually, the swap on cars, clearly, it's for messing around. Because these cars in the game, they don't really have a sports purpose. In their category, they might manage, but you won't start in 4th rank with this car. It's not made for it. Too heavy, too long, and too far from the meta. Over 1,000 horsepower in a car like this is mainly for straight-line performance, as you shouldn't expect much else. Much more than that. So, let's say that if you want to play for the top one or something like that, there's no point in swapping, except maybe with another engine that might save a bit of weight. That's it, but that's all overall. Otherwise, there's no need. I think we might be able to put them in top S1 without swapping. In 891, I noticed that with minor modifications like changing the rims and a few other adjustments, the small plane mounted in 895 could be improved in my opinion. To really optimize the disc perf, it must be an S, a 900. In any case, it seems really feasible to me. After, is there an interest? I don't know. Oh, however, damn, the VMAX what? I hadn't seen. Driving it is obviously pretty fun. I won't hide that from you. What's especially funny is that the car is super maneuverable. Once again, even off-road with slick tires, that's crazy. It takes what it takes, not just what it does, but like the tree. But it's hopped up like crazy, so maybe, at high speed, its support is not enough, let's say, to be able to compete with supercars or something. But I assure you that in tight little turns, it can fight without a problem against a Huracan or whatever you want. Well, that kind of car, you know. GTR, it does it big, and I think in some cases it's even better, by the way, but that's thanks to, I'm telling you about the format of this car here. On the game, it gives some really weird stuff. Also try, back in the day, if you had Horizon 4, to test with the Insignia, the Eldorado, even the Cadillac Limousine. It's pretty overpowered in terms of handling. I think it's the Toronado from Oldsmobile, which is super heavy. Well, not super heavy, but super long. And it's the same if you put it in prop, it's super cool to handle. Long cars have a certain allure. On Forza Horizon 5, and no matter the era, and no matter, let's say, the origin or the source, it's always a bit like that. It's true that it spreads well, however, it's true. I was telling you well, it lacks support. So as soon as we reach high speeds, that's where it becomes hot to maneuver. But actually, this box there is no less effective, in my opinion, on very small circuits, like the Ford Horizon Festival circuit. I think it's no less effective than many ultralight sports cars. This type of box is a bit stupid, but it's truly the case in my opinion. What do you think? After that, it's the same thing. I hadn't seen that though. It was wood that we have on the sides, I just realized, with the sun changing angle a bit. I think what we see to the left of the steering wheel there, that's wood. Oh, how? That's cool. You know what? We'll quickly check this out in Forza Vista before further improving it, but this finish is rather stylish. I hope we can still choose our finishes on Forza in the future. I mean, if TDU managed to do it, with 100 cars, with a very small studio and still a small budget, I see no reason why Forza couldn't make it. Even with more cars, they have a significantly larger studio and team. I don't see why they don't do it. So, let's see the interior, then we're going to open this. Ah yeah, it's wood. Ah yeah, it's really stylish, it's really beautiful, I think. Inside, there must be room. Even for the back, however, the back. It's weird, the back seat. No, it looks like a damn bench. So I don't know if it's like this in real life or if it's the devs who didn't model. Ah yes, okay, alright, okay, I see the madness. Actually, there are folds, but it's... Yeah, okay, there's seams. Okay. It's still stylish, huh? Driving in there must be comfortable. Can we open the trunk by any chance? Yeah, we can open the trunk. The trunk is very small, though. Is it external there? Okay. Well, it's obviously cool anyway. I'm showing you the engine like that. It's done. Oh, damn. There's so little to see, right? Work on that, right? Can you imagine a bit the block? It takes up all the space, actually. The fewer things to work on. It's hell, my friend. But it's cool. It's cool that these cars existed. Unfortunately, they stopped the W12. It's a bit of a sad thing. Bentley. I believe this car is really part of the last generations of Bentley, which will have this fabulous engine that allows for cases as flexible as they are high-performing, in a straight line. So I swapped. There. I just want to see a little bit what this engine is, but I think it might be an engine that comes from another Bentley. Because W12 6 liters, I don't really see where that could come from. In fact, fewer than 50 manufacturers or groups have used these engines, raising doubts about their worthiness. I don't know, because I feel like we're going to gain 20 horses, but still, I don't know. Are we really going to gain in VMAX? So, wait, we're going to see the comparison precisely. 23 horses, sorry. But we take 9 kilos. I'm not sure this swap has any interest. Maybe for the sound, but it sounds like any W12 in the game. After, indeed, we have other swaps, and we indeed have the swap. 1,750 horses, the famous one with anti-lag, which makes us gain weight. That's the worst part. So, We're going to test the mega ramp later. It's been a long time since we've done it, and generally, the mega ramp. It works pretty well with very big cars like this, very heavy, and which still have a lot of VMAX. I wanted to test it on a flat surface first to see the acceleration. It definitely accelerates stronger than the W12 with its 1,000 horses. In the end, there's nearly double the power. However, it's strange. It has significantly altered the car's handling, making it riskier to drive, in my opinion. The car's grip is unpredictable. It's not visually apparent, but I can feel it through the controller, indicating the need for caution. Then with the previous improvement, it changed the weight too, and it maybe also changed the mass distribution, which means that it must change the feeling. We'll test that on the straight line to see what it can deliver. But in reality, I preferred the handling with the 12. With the previous improvement stage, we are still in S2 specifically. S2 940. Can you imagine the mess that? It's in the same performance category that it's technically higher in performance than an original Chiron. I believe in the game it's still absolutely outrageous, but on the other hand, it's too cool, really. I'm super happy that they're adding this kind of box on the other side. I think that, unfortunately, we may never have rolls, given how it's going, rolls. It seems to be a bit of chaos, unless, I don't know, rolls. There was a surprise update for a big celebration, but it seems chaotic. They don't appear to be including classes or any Series 7 models, not even the older ones. Having a 1938 model in the game would be too good to be true. In 740, the biggest isn't necessary, but in 750, a V12 would obviously be cool. It's time to test the mega ramp and see what it can do, including whether the jump at the end is spectacular. Big cars usually give some pretty funny stuff. Come on, let's go, it started. That's a very good question. I'm not sure if we will reach 500, because it's possible, given the length of the box, given the power, it's quite possible. We'll see, that's 450. Everything is happening quickly. We're already struggling to keep up. Oh no. Come on, 500 please. We got 500, which is okay. The jump to 500 in the Continental Flying Spur. Let's see if it's going to give. Am I reacting well? All the energy there. Ah, too bad we didn't take the super straight jump. Oh, the jump is huge there, though. So, often, the jumps are fat, of course. With the range, you're going to tell me, but it's rarely that excessive, though. The game, it has a bit of trouble understanding, I think. I think we've never gone this far, guys. We're only at what? We're only 400 meters from the finish line. That's not bad, huh? I think it's my jump record. Between the weight, size, and speed, it was still pretty good. So, yeah, listen, Flying Spur, it's validated for style. For the original driving, the previous driving, swap, after, clearly, when we start to get on top S1 or 2. The car, it, is not made for that. So, it's not efficient, but it's fun. And I think it's a good addition. Remember, this week there will also be another car to unlock, the 400Z Nismo, a new addition to the game. We will test it. We'll test it in a video tomorrow to see what it can do. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe for upcoming videos.